Going to do a horizontal seam on stair steps, and the natural inclination when you're doing this is to want to use that as part of your seam, where one row of stitches goes up and then another one. And if you do that, your seam is going to look really lumpy and bumpy, unlike this one where I've used the right technique and I don't have any really appreciable jogs in my seam. And to do this, you do the very same thing you did on the straight swatch, except when you get to the stair step. I'm going to go into the center of my selvage stitch and out through the center of the next stitch. Do the same thing over here. So you can see that this is the same. Wait a second, I got to look at it. No, see, y'all were having trouble with. You can see I have trouble with it too. That's why I frequently have to turn it over to make sure I'm getting into the center of a stitch and not between the stitches. Okay, into the same stitch, out. Once you've got it started on the other side, then you can get into a rhythm. Whoops. Whoops, don't want to split the thread. I think Lily's singing over there.
I hear someone singing.
Yeah.
She will break into song at the drop of the hat. You don't want to encourage her too much.
Who is it?
Lily.
Oh, it's
She,
Lily singing?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Lily likes to sing. All right, now what I would think is that I would go in here and go in here. But when you put a needle into a hole, you make it bigger. So instead I'm going to go in here and I'm going to jump up to the next stitch that I can see that's below my needle, and that's huge. I mean, it looks like that cannot possibly work. I'm going to go in here, and
Does it actually have you jumping columns?
Yes,
It
you're
does
jumping
have
up
you
some.
one whole column? Or
Well, you're going from column to column. You're going from one column of stitches to another column of stitches, but you're going up several rows.
okay, it's going up. Okay, that's all.
And it looks like it can't possibly work. Well, I'm going to do a couple more stitches here so that we can see what it looks like when I pull it tight. And this is the same thing if you're picking up stitches. You do the same thing. You jump those columns. Now I'm going to pull it tight. And you can see there is a slight, the stitch is slightly larger where that thing is, but it's certainly not a big old lumpy hole. And the stitches, your shoulder will sit like that. I've got columns of stitches meeting columns of stitches. Okay?